Today, we are going to shine a light on the female narcissists. Discussions on narcissism have historically centered around the male narcissist. So it's essential to recognize that females can also exhibit narcissistic personality disorder. In the past, NPD was more commonly associated with men, but the landscape is shifting. The prevalence of women displaying extreme narcissistic traits or diagnosed with NPD is on the rise, challenging previous assumptions and statistics. The repercussions of narcissistic abuse are far-reaching, affecting both men and women across intimate relationships, familial bonds, professional settings, and social circles. These manipulative and abusive people spare no one in their relentless pursuit of control. So today we are talking about the female narcissist and the top 10 most common behaviors these women might exhibit if you come in contact with one. But first, if you're new to my channel, I'd like to take a moment and welcome you and invite you to please subscribe and be sure and hit that notification bell because I put out new videos every week. Also, if you are interested in private one-on-one narcissistic abuse recovery coaching with me, please visit my website. It's linked in the description below. So whether we are talking about a male or female narcissist, there are certain core traits and driving motivations that are the same for both genders. The name of the game for all narcissists is to obtain narcissistic supply, establish control over the lives of others, and to escape any form of blame or accountability for anything egregious that they have done. Also, narcissists will usually have an extreme focus on their image and an overwhelming desire to portray themselves as someone that in reality they are not. And anyone who tries to hold the narcissist accountable will usually be discarded or attacked. In general, when you are trying to identify if a specific person may or may not be a narcissist, you want to be looking out for what Craig Malkin describes as the 3 E's, which is a lack of empathy, entitled behavior, and exploitative behavior. That's a wonderful formula to commit to memory and will typically be consistent for both male and female narcissists, as well as overt or covert narcissists. So those are some of the general overlapping commonalities and traits between both male and female narcissists. And now we're going to get into some of the most common personality traits and behaviors that you usually will experience if there is a female narcissist in your life. So let's get into it. Number 1, sensitivity to criticisms. Dealing with a female narcissist is like navigating a field of landmines. You try to give some constructive feedback, maybe just a little suggestion, and bam, it's like you kicked a hornet's nest. Any form of criticism, even very kind, constructive criticism, is like a one-way ticket to crazy town. Female narcissists are not interested in your opinions unless they are full of love, adoration, and praise. And when you are giving them less than perfect feedback, it's not just a bruised ego they experience. It's a full-on narcissistic injury. And when that happens, that will be followed by some form of punishment that gets a message across to you loud and clear that those types of observations are not welcome and will not be tolerated. So forget about honest conversations that challenge their perfection. Those topics are not allowed ever. Number 2, obsession with appearances. Appearances are like the holy grail for these women. And it's not just about their own look. It's like they've got a radar for sizing up everyone around them. Superficiality is the name of the game. They have no real interest in essential human qualities. So there won't be any deep conversations about real human stuff. They genuinely are not interested in those things. Image is everything to these women. They're all about the surface level dazzle. And if you spot a hint of authenticity, hold on a second. It's probably just there to keep up the picture perfect image they've crafted for the masses. Being part of a female narcissist's life is like living in a never-ending episode of a reality TV show where everyone's just playing a role. Number 3, extreme competitiveness. Buckle up for this one because these women take competition to a level most have never experienced. Female narcissists are like spotlight addicts. It's not just about shining on their own. They need others to reflect their supposed greatness. It's like being around someone who constantly needs you to validate their superiority. It's like being stuck in a never-ending talent show. And believe me when I tell you, the competition isn't just at work or with friends. It's even in the family arena. Just because you are family, it doesn't exempt you from the race. These women are fueled by this jealousy engine that cranks up the competition. And I mean, we're talking about competing with their own kids or relatives. It's like a fierce game of who's the most superior on family game night, but with less fun. Number 4, manipulative punishments. The manipulative playbook of the female narcissist. When these women are displeased, they don't just storm off or argue it out. No. They whip out these sneaky and many times very cruel manipulation and abuse tactics, like the silent treatment. It's like dealing with a real-life ghost. And if that's not enough, they're pros at withholding affection. So if you piss off one of these women, for example, if you're in a romantic relationship with one, you will find yourself in an emotional cold front just because they're not happy with something you did or said, whether it was real or completely made up in their mind and not based in reality is beside the point. Female narcissists don't care about those facts. And unfortunately, they are famous for utilizing neglect and abandonment. Usually, those become their go-to tools. They are masters at turning emotional manipulation into an art form to get everyone around them to fall in line. And yes, that will include their own children. Number 5, manipulation through sexuality. I think this may be the female narcissist's specialty. This is always a part of the female narcissist toolbox, and it's a bit different than their male counterparts. Male narcissists tend to flaunt their wealth or assets. However, these women turn to their own version of a power move, their sexuality. So that may look like provocative dressing, a little too much flirting, and even affairs within their own social circles. It's like they've got this toolkit of manipulation tricks and they're not afraid to use it. Their aim is always about getting that narcissistic supply. So while some might flex their wallets, these ladies flex their, well, you know what I mean. It's like living in a drama-filled soap opera, and they've got a starring role in every episode. Number 6, disregard for boundaries. Oh boy, buckle up for this one. Female narcissists are like boundary bulldozers. So if you're involved with one of these women in any capacity, you can forget about privacy, personal space, or that they will respect your belongings. All of those things are fair game for them. Remember, they have a belief that they are entitled to things that other people just aren't. So thinking they can just waltz into your life, no questions asked, and help themselves to whoever or whatever they please accompanies these women everywhere they go. And if you try to talk about it, good luck. It's like dealing with a master of denial, blame shifting, or just outright dismissal. You set a boundary and they act like it's a foreign language. It's like trying to build a sandcastle against an incoming tide. Boundaries are a mere suggestion in their world, and good luck trying to enforce them without a full-on showdown. Number 7, jealousy and pathological envy. Oh, the plot thickens with these female narcissists. You see, despite their confident facade, envy runs deep in their veins. They're all about projecting this image of total confidence, but behind the scenes, it's a whole different story. Gossipy conversations with friends. Oh, they're pros at that, especially if it's someone they think is superior to them. It's like this two-faced dance where they're smiling to your face and gossiping behind your back. They also assume everyone else must be as envious as they are. It's like a twisted game of assuming the worst in others. And that, my friends, becomes their secret sauce for narcissistic supply, all while patching up their oh-so-fragile ego. Number 8, they are insanely materialistic. Now we're diving into the material world of the female narcissist. And trust me when I tell you, they've got this love affair with spending money, and opulence is their middle name. It's not just about having nice things. It's like a validation party for their insecurities. You know, that whole, I'm worth it because look at all the shiny stuff I have vibe. Material possessions for them aren't just things. They're tools for flexing superiority and adding that extra layer to the image they've so carefully crafted. It's like living in a perpetual episode of a reality show where they're the stars and the bling is their supporting cast. Number 9, they are drama queens. Need I say more about this one? No doubt the majority of my followers have all kinds of nightmare stories to tell about this one. Female narcissists love drama. And if there isn't enough drama going on for their liking, you better believe they will manufacture some. These women, like all narcissists, bore extremely quickly. And because they thrive and are driven by a desire to be the center of attention, and drama is the fuel that keeps them going, usually it's a chaotic mess wherever they go. Regular, ordinary events drive these women nuts. They just can't be normal. They've got a talent for turning the mundane into a disorganized and crazy madhouse. Their stories stretch the bounds of reality, and you're left wondering where the next exit is so you can get off the crazy train. Drama is the name of the game, and creating it is their specialty. It's not just about living life, it's about turning every moment into an absolute train wreck. Sensationalism is their sidekick, and their theatrics and histrionics are off the charts. Number 10, pitting people against each other. These women are masters when it comes to triangulation. They're seasoned pros at sowing seeds of discord among friends and family. They deliberately drop bits of information here and there just to light the spark and watch the fireworks. And it's not just casual gossip. They will go full-on drama mode, embellishing stuff to crank up the emotional dial so the show is exciting for them to watch. It's like they've got this handbook on how to turn a calm family dinner into a chaotic battleground. Even children aren't exempt from the web of manipulation. Nobody is off limits to these women. It's like they've mastered the art of pulling strings behind the scenes. Only the people being played don't realize there is a master puppeteer involved who is deliberately causing the turmoil and confusion. All right, that's going to do it for today's video. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up and please subscribe to my channel. Also, follow me on my other social media platforms. The links are in the description below. Thanks for watching, everyone.